Stanley Pringle. Coach Tim, let me start with you. Ginebra was shooting at a high shooting percentage today, with almost all the players shooting at double digits. Despite TNT's defense staying intact and the scoring going back and forth in almost all the quarters, what was the turning point for Ginebra to take game three tonight?
Well, I think you hit it on the nose. We shot the ball real well tonight from different angles, led by Stanley. Stanley kept us in the game, got us ahead, and he kept us in the game during the first half, and then hit big shots in the second half. But it was more of a job, I think, that other guys knew and realized they had to pick it up for Justin. We just can't keep going to Justin all the time. Other guys got to contribute. Other guys got to be aggressive and take their shots. And and I thought we did a better job of really trying to execute tonight. And I thought that's what was lacking in the last game. We just didn't execute in the last game.
Stanley, it was a perfect shooting game for you. It was like seeing the old Stanley performance once again. How did this win feel for you specifically?
All felt real good. I'm on just a great team. All my teammates is great players. So whenever I get a chance to, come out and hit some shots, it's not always like that. But when I do, it means a lot because they've been supporting me the whole time I've been injured. So whatever I can do to help them, I'm gonna try to do it.
Coach Jim, we also noticed that Japeth was able to enter the game for a few minutes. Could you just talk a little more about the update on how he is doing so far?
Well, let me first say about Stanley. I just got through telling Stanley it was about 30 times in the game where I said to myself, "Do I need to take Stanley out? Do I need to take Stanley out?" Because he's still battling, and he comes off the bench for a purpose, not because we have a better player than him that starts, but he comes off so we can keep his minutes shortened. Today we kind of got desperate and started him, and he responded incredibly well, and we're got to get him back into rehab and try to get him ready for Sunday. As for Japeth, the goal was to go out and give Japeth a feel, give him a couple minutes, try to find a time when we could do that, and there was kind of a mess up at the scorers table where Japeth was supposed to go in for Christian, and he ended up going in for Justin, and that kind of screwed us up for a little bit, and then we had to call a timeout so we could get Justin back in the game. But Japeth hit that jumper from the baseline, and you can tell he's not real explosive at the moment, but he's still building to it. And so hopefully maybe next game we can extend the minutes out a little bit more. Whether he's going to go back to normal minutes in this series, I'm not sure. I don't think so, but we'll continue to give him minutes hopefully and monitor how he does and try to decide if he can get more and more, or do we have to pull back again.
Coach Ginebra takes the lead once again in this best of seven series. What does the team need to do to be able to sustain this momentum in the coming games?
Well, it's really hard in a series and in the finals especially. Semifinals maybe a little easier. Quarterfinals obviously is even easier because the teams you're playing is not quite as strong as the team you're playing in the finals. I mean, they're in the finals for a reason. So it's really hard to get back to back against a really good team. And JoJo's been doing all the right things, saying all the right things, and I should say Coach JoJo. I don't think it was Coach JoJo, but and they made some real good adjustments in game two that caught us off guard, and so we had to readjust. So they're going to come in game four and do the same thing. And obviously, you can't rest in a series like this. What we have to do to try to win game four, I don't know. I honestly don't know at this point. I'm going to have to go back and look at the video, and we have a certain recipe for success, and that's executing and moving the ball and being unselfish and playing defense first. And hopefully that'll be enough in game four.
All right, let's now open the floor to our media friends.
You got the start tonight. How did that help you this performance? You also take the whole first quarter. How did that help you?
I know, Coach wanted me to come out and probably be aggressive since he was starting me. So I just, locked in and just thinking about ways I can attack and space the floor. Be ready to hit that open shot. Because last game I think we shot pretty poorly, so I just put a little extra focus on hitting the shot, and if it failed, shots fell.
Stan, can you talk about that classic shooting with Nike in the second quarter, answering threes?
Man, I was just trying to hit my shots. I don't know. I wasn't
I
thinking
don't,
about his shot.
don't
But
even remember. I remember we hit 3 in a row. I didn't know if Stanley responded, but yeah, I think for us, it's we always think that it's like you're getting into each other, or, it's us against it's that player against that player, but we really try to emphasize it's us against them. We don't want anybody with a personal agenda on the team. Uh, you know, First of all, we don't have anything to prove as individuals. What we have to prove is as a team. So that's not something that we get into or promote.
Coach, do you remember any team of yours in the past who shot 58% from guard?
Is that how much we shot? Wow. Yeah, we had a couple that bounce around and go in as well. Um, uh, Probably not. I mean, that's a really high percentage for a 3-point shooting team. And like I said, they came out and shot the ball well in game 2, and we came out and shot the ball well in game 3. It sounds like that's the recipe for success in this series. Who shoots the ball well?
Coach, after game 2, you mentioned that you were not worried about Justin's struggles in game 2. Tonight he delivered. So what about his performance?
Well, I mean, we've seen Justin's. I always kid my wife, like after a bad loss. I always kid my wife by saying, if you had been a first-time watcher of Justin Brownlee and you watched that game and got game 2, you'd think, oh, you need to change your import. He has those type of games. It just happens. But they're few and far between, and he always responds coming back the next time. So you never have to worry about it. I mean, imagine if Justin was dominated that much and that was our first game of the conference and you've never seen him play. You'd probably think, well, he's not good enough. But that's why you don't judge an import by one game, or their first game or by one game. So, I mean, he's going to have those kind of nights. Defense is really key on him. They're going to come out with a good scheme once in a while that he hasn't seen. Or I think the fact that RHS was RHJ Jefferson, Hollis Jefferson was on him. I think kind of surprised him because we hadn't seen that before. And he hadn't really guarded imports throughout the whole conference. And so we weren't expecting him to go out and guard. So he caught us off guard, he caught him off guard. And, Jefferson, even in the NBA, is known. They have a term in the NBA where they have certain players. I know this from the summer league in Miami. They have certain guys that they term elite defenders, and these guys are the guys that come out and just really focus. We call them defensive stoppers or whoever. The Freddie Abudas of the world, and RHJ was really known. And I mean, I've even heard it then, and I've heard it in the past, and when I was scouting it myself, that he was one of the elite defenders of the NBA. So he'd come out and he would go on to the LeBrons and the guys like that and try to stop these guys. So that's a tall task for Justin to go and try to beat this guy one-on-one all day long. I mean, even LeBron had a hard time with it. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I mean, that's why he had his reputation. There was another guy in the Miami Heat team that they were grooming to be an elite defender. His name was Highsmith, and he plays for the Miami Heat now. But that's when we got hearing the term elite defenders, and the coaches told me, there's a few in the NBA that are elite defenders, and they think this kid Highsmith is one of them, and that's what Hollis Jefferson was always known for, as an elite defender.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Enjoy, guys.
Thank you.